Hey storyteller, if you're planning to submit your book to traditional publishers, in other words, companies that will pay you for the right to print and distribute your book, then you will probably be required to submit a synopsis. But what if you're just starting to work on your book? Well, stick around anyway, because learning how to write a synopsis can help you throughout the writing process. So, what is a synopsis? Welcome to this week's writer coaching session, where we'll discuss that in detail, as well as why, when, and how to write a synopsis. Hi, I'm Bridget from B Squared Writer Coaching. I'm an author, editor, and your story coach, here to help you make your story powerful, polished, and publishable. First, I have a gift for you just for visiting my channel, my free workshop, 6 Essential Elements of a Powerful Story. Before you send your stunning synopsis to publishers, you need a powerful story for it to represent. This 25-minute video workshop walks you through how to ramp up your characters, plot, conflict, setting, and theme, plus how to write all that in a way that makes readers feel like they're living the adventure with your characters. To watch it, just click the link in the description or visit b2writercoaching.com/workshop. That's the letter B, the number 2, writercoaching.com/workshop. And be sure to stick around till the end of today's video so you won't miss this week's Power Up, a super practical action step you can use right now with the story you're working on. A synopsis is different from the book description you'll find on the back of your book or the teaser in a query letter. While a book description is a short sales tool that gives readers a teaser about your book and makes them want to purchase it, a synopsis goes into much more detail. For more on the type of book description you'll find on the back of the book or in a query letter, check out this video linked above, and I'll also link it in the description. A synopsis will give an agent or a publishing company's acquisitions editor a deeper glimpse into your story. This is your opportunity to give more details, such as the major characters, the story world, the entire plot, including the ending, and your story's message or theme. Despite the fact that most agents or acquisitions editors will require a synopsis at some point during the book proposal process, a synopsis can help writers develop and understand their own stories. Even authors who choose independent publishing can find this tool useful. This was the case for me when I was submitting my novel Keeper of Shadows to traditional publishers. I started that way just to learn about the process and eventually decided to self-publish instead, but I found that writing the synopsis helped me to dissect my story in ways I never would have thought about if I hadn't done that. Even if you're just starting to work on your book, but you know that traditional publishing is a path you intend to seek, it's a good idea to learn what goes into a synopsis. Many writers find it easier to write the synopsis before they write the book. They use it to brainstorm and help them develop the plot that will stem from their story idea. Some say the synopsis helps them to stay on track during the writing process and avoid taking their story in unintended directions. If you do choose to write a synopsis before you write the book, once you've finished the story, you may need to tweak the synopsis to match the existing plot. Because, as many writers will tell you, no matter how much you plot, your book tends to change on you, at least somewhat, during the writing process. Besides sending your synopsis to agents or acquisitions editors for publishing companies, you can also use this when you want to enter a writing contest. Most writing contests actually require a synopsis because the judges typically won't read the entire novel. So what should a synopsis contain? A synopsis reveals the entire narrative arc of your story. It shows what happens and who changes from beginning to end. The goal of the synopsis is to grab the attention of the agent, editor, or contest judge and provide an entertaining summary of the book. It should include the following: the main characters and the emotions they experience. This would include your protagonist, antagonist, and any other major character, but I would stick to only naming the most essential ones, maybe 3 to 4. The story's main conflicts, the climax, and the resolution. Your synopsis should be written in the same tone as your book. For example, if you're writing a comedy, add humor to your synopsis. A good synopsis doesn't just explain what you're offering to the agent or editor, but it draws that person with the story's flavor and atmosphere. There is no one right way to write a synopsis because every contest judge, agent, or acquisitions editor has their own specific set of requirements or guidelines and things they're looking for. Some may require a 1-page synopsis, while others want 2 or even 5 pages. However, the publishing industry has developed a few standard practices. Write your synopsis in active voice. For more on that and the difference between writing in active versus passive voice, check out this video linked above. I'll also link it in the description. Also, write your synopsis in third person and present tense. This refers to the point of view you're using. For more on point of view, check out this video linked above, and I'll also link it in the description. Your synopsis should include concise, clear language, and to format it, use Times New Roman 12-point font, single-spaced, with indentations for your paragraphs, and your margins should be 1 inch on all sides. Avoid the following mistakes when writing your synopsis. Mentioning too many characters by name. Include only the protagonist or protagonists if you have more than one, and the antagonist. Others may be mentioned, but I don't suggest naming them. Just use their role in the story. For example, if this character is a sidekick or the character's instructor, teacher, mentor, you would refer to that character's role, not that person's name. Avoid including too many details about the plot. Stick to the major events and the big twists. Also, avoid using too much descriptive detail or explanation, offering opinions or sales speak. For instance, something like, in a thrilling turn of events. So you may notice things look a little different now than they did earlier. That is because my camera decided it didn't want to save part of the video. So here's future me coming back to you the next day to finish the video. Are you finding this helpful so far? If so, consider clicking the like button so YouTube will show this video to more writers like you. I've created the following outline to help you get started in writing your synopsis. Just keep in mind it's only a suggested framework. In the first paragraph or couple of paragraphs, start with the inciting incident. If you're not sure what that is or would like more information on how to write one, check out this video on the 7 most vital story beats linked above, and I'll also link it in the description. In that first paragraph, you'll also want to identify your protagonist and reveal the story's setting. In the middle paragraphs of your synopsis include the following: major complications and plot twists, turning points, especially the main turning point of the story, resolutions to conflicts that lead to the climax, and your protagonist's all is lost or we're doomed moment. The video I mentioned a few moments ago will give you more details on turning points and the all is lost moment, as well as the inciting incident, plus a few of the other elements I will be mentioning shortly. In the last paragraph or couple of paragraphs of your synopsis include the climax. Be sure to reveal the points of highest tension and events that determine whether or not the protagonist will achieve the story goal. Show how all major conflicts are resolved, or any plot points that are left hanging if you're writing a series. Reveal what your protagonist has learned, how he or she has changed, or how he or she has inspired change in others. If you'd like me to create a video on the major story beats or story events to include in your synopsis using one of my own as an example, let me know in the comments and I'll produce that sometime in the coming weeks. If you haven't done so already, be sure to sign up for my free workshop, 6 Essential Elements of a Powerful Story. For this week's Power Up, use the outline I gave you and fill in details from your story for each of the sections. Then use the framework you've created to flesh out your synopsis in complete sentences and paragraphs, adding transitions where needed to make it flow. As you're writing, keep the tone of your story in mind so you can use it in the synopsis as well. Before you can submit your sensational synopsis to a literary agent or the acquisitions editor at a publishing company, you'll most likely need to first send that person a query letter. This can be true even if you are pitching to an agent or editor at a writer's conference. Often, these industry professionals will take a look at your synopsis during your pitch, but they may instead prefer what is called a one-sheet, which is basically just a graphically designed query letter. Even in these cases, when you do send whatever material this person might request, you will need to send a query letter with it. Not sure what a query letter is or how to write one? Check out this video, and let's power up your storytelling.